Hello to everybody all over the world. My name is Troy Nelson, and welcome to Live on KEXP at Home. We are still finding ways to bring you live music, and today is a very exciting day because today we have none other than the Beths. The Beths, are you there?
Good morning.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Where exactly are you all right now?
We're in Auckland, New Zealand. We're in Jonathan's little project studio on K Road where we record and rehearse and everything like that.
Awesome. And it sounds like you recorded some songs for all of us today. Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. It's very fun.
And speaking of, let's just get right into it because I know that the listeners want to hear some live music from the Beths. So is that cool with all of you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, well, let's do this. It's the Beths live on KEXP at Home.
Chill when I learn that it's finally my turn. I have finally earned my place in the urn, and I take a fall. But I keep my hands soft, I keep my body limp, and I move with the wind. I'll go where it bends, and let go of the expectation. Now I'm getting excited, 'cause the light of the fire's got me hiding. When it flashes at night, the brain off signs I can see through my eyes. My eyelids float between two states on the borderline for the slow intake. They don't lift my chin, I don't let much out. Just a broken bowl, flickering with doubt. Yeah, happens all the time. Misery loves me, but I don't love her.
Love it. Sounds fantastic.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks.
I hadn't seen the video yet. It comes on. I was like, are we in the KEXP live room? Did you recreate the KEXP live room?
We did.
We tried our darndest.
Look, we had everything's been cancelled, so we have a lot of time. So,
I'm like, you put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, we did. Well, we had a really good time last time, and like we're big fans of KEXP, and so that was actually like our old university like main room.
Mm-hmm.
So they let us use it, which was nice.
Yeah, I was like, I thought for a second, is this the same room that you're sitting in now? It can't be, can it? That is
Very modular room.
that was such a great surprise. That is hilarious. I see listeners over in the comments section. They were like freaking out that you recreated the KEXP live room. People listening from all over. I see California, Mexico, New York. Georgiana says thank you for making the evening better here in London. So we've got listeners from all over the world in the comments section. And the new album, Jump Rope Gazers, the new second album, it has a little more variety, I noticed, than the previous record in terms of like tempos and song crafting. What was the main difference in making this record as opposed to your previous album?
Tried to make the heart rate go up and down this time.
Right.
Yeah, it felt like we like, what did we do differently? The songs just kind of came out differently, and then we were kind of okay with having a bit like spaces of like bits of breathing space on the album, which the first album was kind of like a hoon top to bottom, which I also like, and maybe we should have just done that again. But yeah, other things we did differently were like we recorded most of it, like this room was, when we recorded the first record, was 4 smaller rooms, so it was like the space we recorded those things in was really, really tiny. And then like in April, we all like did some DIY, knocked out the walls, and made it big enough that we could all play at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool. So like going from rehearsing to recording was quite fluid, because it was just like you just were rehearsing until the takes were good enough, and then we started hitting record.
Right. And that's what I was going to ask you too. Are you recording these records by yourselves, or do you have any outside help coming in, or is this just something you're all doing yourselves?
This man records the albums.
That guy. I thought so too, because I saw a video and you had like an old school Tascam tape machine. And are you trying? Do you still have that thing?
Yeah, I still have my 8-track. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I'm just trying to decide whether I how much truth I tell right now.
You don't have to say anything. You don't have to. It's up to you.
I love the tape machine, and do try to use it when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And but also don't really want to sacrifice the flow to put the tape machine in the chain, because it's quite hard work. So sometimes it just sits in the corner for the vibe.
Really
for the vibe.
Yeah.
I had never heard of Jansen amps before.
Oh, look, this is a great story. So in New Zealand, in the 60s and through to the early 1980s, there was kind of crazy import restrictions that made Fender amps and American amps really expensive, and like quite funny quirks as well. For instance, an amp with 2 speakers in it was considered a hi-fi system and not a guitar amplifier, and so it was taxed at it was actually in fact taxed at a lower rate. So occasionally you do see a few 70s Fender Twins in New Zealand, but what that meant was we had this gap where some domestic manufacturers had to make products for New Zealand because it was too expensive to bring them over from elsewhere.
So they're like reverse engineering amps and just trying to figure it out. And they've made it some really great amps, and they're quite cheap. They're cheaper than
what it means is Jonathan's
amp
amps is made by a hi-fi company and has 2 hi-fi speakers in it.
It's true. Yeah, they got some quirks.
How do I get a Jansen amp?
Oh,
you have to go on our version of eBay, which is called Trade Me.
the path to citizenship is quite long. I won't kid you. Yeah.
Well, the album sounds, whatever you're doing a fantastic job, because the album sounds great. And once again, the new album is called Jump Rope Gazers. I can't believe you also recreated the KEXP live room. And let's go into a couple more songs. Yeah.
Never been the dramatic type, but if I don't see your face tonight, I
Awesome. Love it. It's the Beths. The Beths live on KEXP at home and making their room look like the KEXP live room. And it just sounds so good, so catchy, and tight harmonies. I keep seeing people say that in the comments section as well. And speaking of, lots of people chiming in. Mike says Beths are the best. I agree. Beths are the best. Ryan says Jump Rope Gazers was my beach soundtrack this year. I could see that. You know, it's very like some beach vibes going on.
It's midwinter here, so we have to wait for the beach soundtrack, unless you're very keen.
Right. And speaking of all you listening out there, feel free to ask questions. I'm looking like this person right here named Off the Mat wants to know. Oh, I'm sure you get this one. Has any of you met Flight of the Conchords?
Oh,
Have we? I haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't.
No.
But the thing is, we don't live in Wellington. Our friends who live in Wellington,
Apparently they're everywhere.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I would love to meet Flight
Hard
of the
not to run
Conchords.
into them.
Let's see. Throwboy asked, "What is the story behind the train operator voice in Dying to Believe?"
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to take it?
You go, Tristan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the train, we really like trains and public transport and good instances of public infrastructure.
Yeah.
And
Huge fans.
in Auckland, we're lucky enough to have the Oraki train station,
Mm.
which is an incredible train station in between sort of East Auckland and the CBD, where for a brief moment the train is by itself on tracks going across the water. And so on your right, you have this beautiful view out onto the harbour. It's completely serene. There's no cars, no nothing.
Mm.
You're just flying across the water like the end scene of Spirited Away. And it's a pretty magical piece of infrastructure. So we wanted to
honor that.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted
That's
to put
amazing.
something in that little break, and it just sort of, you know, these ideas like are a long iterative process of ideas that don't fly, and then
Yeah, we're going to use the plane announcement.
Mhm.
And then realized that someone already had done that we know. But anyway, the voice is our friend Rose Matafeo, because I wasn't sure how sampling works. And I was like, I don't know if I can use this recording. So we got our friend Rose, who's a really great comedian. She's in a movie that's coming out that's directed by Madeline Sami and produced by Taika Waititi. So she's a famous.
she's a
Basically.
future famous.
She's a fan.
But she's
Yeah, and she's really great. And we asked her if she would record the voiceover in a train announcement voice, and she did.
I love
So
that.
we're very
Such
grateful.
a good job.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's very cool. I have my own question. I have my own question to ask. What the heck is on your album cover, and who is the artist that designed whatever that wonderfully strange object is?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like the object. I haven't seen it in person, but our friend Philippa is an artist that I've just always liked her stuff, and she's on Instagram, Philippa Emery. But anyway, when I like sent her like an early version of the album, it was just like demos and stuff, but she kind of picked out like a few themes, and like I don't really have much of a visual sense of things, and so like I was just like, what do you think? And she showed me this concept that was like crayon, and like she showed it to me in pencil, and she walks through lots of different mediums, and it was just these two figures who were kind of like held together but also held apart, and I just saw it and I was like, that looks great. And then she's like, I want to make it, so she made it out of I think paper mache and like acrylic resin. It sounds like it's really difficult.
I hope she keeps it safe so that you can one day have the physical.
Apparently it
Yeah.
exists, and I think there's a pathway to maybe putting it in a gallery somewhere, which is going to be really fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Liz, I saw on your Instagram photos you were playing a Nintendo Switch. Are you fully into Animal Crossing, or are you more of a Mario Kart person?
Oh, I don't see how they're mutually exclusive. Yeah, big Mario Kart fan. I bought the Switch towards the end of last year after we were pretty much done touring, and was like, on the next round of international touring, it would be really nice if we could like play Mario Kart together. So maybe that will happen one day. But in the meantime, yeah, I I feel like everybody else bought Animal Crossing at the very start of what was our going into what was called level 4 lockdown, where everything was closed. And so yeah, I played like 6 hours a day of it or something like that. for a while. I'm easing
Right.
off now, just casually.
Right. Just kind of designing your island ever so less than before. You're trying to take some time away from it, or
Well, now that you've got a 5-star island,
Yeah, I don't want to break.
oh.
I do have my style. Yeah, it's kind of. I'm just like going and like see what's in the shops and like kind of water the flowers. I'm trying to get blue roses, but it's a real nightmare.
Have you wished on a shooting star yet?
Yeah. I was upset because 2 days ago, I checked in the morning and Isabel was like, "There's gonna be a meteor shower tonight," and then I forgot to go later on. You only get one of those a month, So, but
It's only one a month. Dang.
yeah. Have you not wished upon a star
I
yet?
did one time. Yep. And then you get the star fragments and
The next day. Yeah.
yep. That's really cool.
Great game.
It's kind of the perfect device for this time, though. I mean, in general, it is, but during these times, lots of staying home. It's kind of the perfect thing to have. They were hard to get for a while. They were like sold out, like worldwide. So
Yeah. Same here. So
Yeah.
we're very lucky.
yeah. And what has your experience been with this global pandemic, as opposed to maybe what it's like in America, as far as you can tell from maybe speaking to some of your American friends? What is the experience that you're having? I'm just curious.
We were lucky enough. We had a very hard lockdown right at the beginning. So we had, was it 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Of all businesses being closed and being stuck at home, just able to go out to the supermarket. And then we're really lucky that we had a huge decrease in cases and were able to ease off the restrictions. And now we're basically able to live normally. So
Yeah.
incredibly
the
privileged.
experience is
So lucky.
yeah, we feel very lucky, but also quite distressed for the rest of the world, of course,
Mm.
and our friends in various parts of the world who are not, still kind of grappling with everything.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, once again, thank you all so much for taking the time to record these songs for us, for the listeners all over the world. And I believe there's one more song you have for us in the recreation of the KEXP live room. And may we go into that last track?
Yeah, sure.
Take us there.
All right. It's the Beths live on KEXP at home.
Such a pity, I can feel you building up to a herd eruption. I won't try to interrupt. You are high and mighty and unlikely to listen.
Awesome. It is the Beths live on KEXP at home. Thank you all again so much for that. Fantastic. Sounds great. Sounds so good. And lots of people chiming in. Lots of people, just lots of love, lots of heart emojis, lots of hearts. Emoji is a heart emoji. Oh, never mind. I was like, it's a heart. I thought an emoji, it has to be a face. Can a heart be an emoji? Are they all emojis?
I think emoji is just like a picture word.
Yeah, right? Somebody was asking, Scott out there wants to know, Tristan, what symbols are you using?
Oh yeah, I actually just managed to get off a quick reply, but I can talk about it a little more. I use I love to talk about my symbols. I've got some 15-inch Zildjian new beats, which I picked up in LA last time I was there. Tried out like 4 or 5 pairs in this guy's flat where he had like 10 cats, and it was really great.
Wow.
Try them all, pick the best ones. And then I got some symbols from a guy in Australia called Craig Lauritsen, who makes handmade symbols and does custom jobs. So I've got in the video, I think I'm using a 21-inch crash, and then the ride that I'm using, he made for this band. I sent him some music and kind of described the role that I want the symbol to play in the band and in the spaces that we perform in.
Being hit by a stick.
Being hit by a stick in medium-sized rooms and surrounded by loud guitars, and he did a great job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously touring is pretty much impossible, but Christian asked what kind of bands you'd like to tour with, or really, I'm assuming, what are some like some of your contemporaries that you're loving right now, some artists that you really love, would love to meet, would love to tour with?
Well, we really like Illuminati Hotties. Their new record's so fucking unreal. Would be fun to tour with them or something.
Always.
We're huge Always fans.
Huge Always fans.
Putting that out into the universe.
Go Friday, new LA band, amazing band.
Really
we
fun.
have toured with them and would love to again. They're just the greatest.
We'd love to repeat the experience. Who else?
Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, Foo Fighters.
Fighters.
How many times have you guys listened to the new Lamelda song?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the new Lamelda release.
We're all big Lamelda fans. Ben's actually wearing a Lamelda shirt in the video that we just watched. That I bought him.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, what a
Best
gift.
present
For Christmas.
I have a question for all of you, and I was trying to read the history on this, but I have a feeling you'll be able to explain it to me. But can you explain to all of us what the term Jaffa means?
Oh, Jaffa.
That's a very
Jaffa?
flattering
Is it Jaffa? Jaffa?
Jaffa.
What is this?
Jaffa.
We can't swear on this
It's
program,
an
can we?
acronym for
For just another effing
bleeping
Aucklander.
Which is like Auckland is the big smoke in New Zealand. I guess it's like the huge metropolis. We're talking like 1.5 million people, and so obviously there's a bit of like resentment from the rest of the country because we've got a quarter of the population, and we get all the attention.
And we have the Sky Tower.
But we have the Sky Tower, so I mean. They're just jealous.
Because I had heard that it started as like a negative thing, but then I heard that people from Auckland like sort of repurposed it, and they started calling each other.
Have we reclaimed Jaffa?
I don't
no,
think so.
I don't know if that's true.
I read that somewhere.
Now that it's Jaffa, I think we can maybe take
We should
it
also
now.
explain what a Jaffa is. Sorry, and the other part of this is
yeah.
that a Jaffa is a lolly. Sorry, it's a candy. It's like
It's a terrible candy.
It's terrible candy.
flavor?
It's waxy orange flavored chocolate. Wrapped in like a candy orange shell
Wait,
that is like
they
bright
made a
orange color.
candy out of this. Is it because of that term?
Oh, no,
This is
it's the
just
other
a
way around.
pun. That's just
Sorry.
how the pun works.
Yeah, it's orange flavored chocolate balls, like it says in the comments. Thank you, Mick Scotty NZ. So they're it's a lolly, and then because of that, they took the word Jaffa, and then they made it offensive.
Looks a bit like
Right.
a tangy.
Well, and you could say instead of the effing in there, some people are saying friendly, just another friendly Aucklander.
Yeah, I see Marsha Tamati getting in there saying friendly Aucklander.
Very nice. Yeah.
Like that.
We'll take it.
Oh, what are people saying? Jaffa cakes? I don't know what Jaffa cakes are.
I think it's an
it's
English
a British thing.
Yeah, I don't really know what they
But
are.
I quite like that,
They're
like
kind of biscuits.
as a term for an Aucklander.
Glenn likes Jaffa candy and always had them at the movie theaters. All right, some people like it.
They're a classic movie snack. Agreed. Yeah, one of those
There's
kind of
some-
kinds. It's kind of lolly that you wouldn't eat under normal circumstances.
I think
But for
Jaffa
some reason we got the
really
movies.
like it really comes out if you're an Aucklander just being being offensively Auckland while you're traveling around a regional area of New Zealand and you go into a cafe and you can't get the exact coffee order that you want.
You can't get your alternative milk that you need.
Yeah, and if you maybe kick up a fuss about that, then I think that's Jaffa behavior, like we
Gotcha.
try to avoid Jaffa behavior.
Gotcha. Okay, I see now. This is all becoming more clear to me. Somebody said, "Do you prefer Jaffas or pineapple lumps?"
Oh,
What are
pineapple.
pineapple? What are
Yeah.
pineapple lumps? I've never heard of
It's like almost like a pineapple flavored candy. It's like a marshmallow, but if you break it, it will snap.
what?
It's like kind of
Yeah.
non-Newtonian marshmallow. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's about the size of a domino.
Yeah, it's about the size of a small domino, and then it's covered in chocolate. So it's like
I
a
want one of
pineapple
these.
candy.
I
Well,
want it very sought after.
we'll send you some. We'll send you some pineapple.
I would love to try these. What else are people
But they don't
saying?
roll, do they?
No,
They don't roll.
they don't roll.
Which makes you shouldn't have a rolling candy at a movie theater.
Good point. Yeah, if you want to eat it off the floor, that is.
It's like somebody said. It's like a toffee marshmallow mix
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
or nougat.
Sorry to those. There's someone in the chat who's Portuguese and has no idea what we're talking about. And just wants music, which I completely
Sorry.
understand, but I'm afraid the music's all done.
I wish I could say anything in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Well, they can always go back and watch the thing, right? I mean, it was a fantastic performance. I mean, honestly, your music, it's really uplifts people. And obviously, we're living in a time where people are really looking to be uplifted. And so thank you for putting out some really like sunshine vibes when people need it most with and just how witty and catchy witty the lyrics are and how deeply layered the songs are. It's some fantastic songwriting.
Thanks, Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
It's
Yeah.
true. And we love the Beths. Obviously, people all over the world love the Beths. And once again, thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us here on KEXP.
Yeah.
Thanks. I just saw a
Kind of.
comment that says, "What does Liz think of 10 dogs?"
Great.
Take it away.
Huge
You have an
fan.
opinion?
Very into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks so much for having us, Troy. And it's an honor to be on KEXP again. Like I said, we're all big fans.
Oh, that's awesome. And hopefully soon we can see you in person.
We would love
Oh,
that.
fingers crossed.
Yes.
Peace
All
out.
right. Well, that was the Beths live on KEXP from home. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks. See ya.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP